Okay, so we could start from right now. Ma'am Lona, can we start the class? Okay, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, may I get a permission to record the meeting, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but still ask the host to give the permission to record.
Oh, yeah. So I'm recording it already. I can give you a copy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I can give you a copy.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ma'am Lona.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. My PPT is on your screen right now, right? Okay. So, hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ma'am Lona and other fellows from St. Louis University of Philippines. Thank you very much for having Bu Desa, Bu Agnes, and me on this morning. We are from Faculty of Psychology, Widya Mandala Surabaya Catholic University. For today, I will be the first for given the topic about leadership, and for the next meeting, Bu Desa will deliver the topic. Okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Andika, but you can call me Pak Candy. So in Indonesia, Pak PAK refers to sir. Okay. And since 2016 until now, I become IO psychologist and psychology lecturer, focusing on IO. And my interest is in the field of organizational and individual development, especially for the career development of fresh graduates. And also I interest in training and development. And while I'm working as a psychologist and a lecturer, I also doing some business with my wife at food and beverage and retail industry. At 2011 until 2013, before I continue my master degree, I became a HR supervisor at factory in Surabaya, and my day-to-day duties are handling organizational development and also formal legal affairs of the company, including A to Z IO process. This is you can keep in touch with me at Instagram and also LinkedIn. Okay, so today I will share you about the topic that has been discussed very, very often. Okay, and maybe you guys have experienced in many times. Today we will discuss about leadership. So that our lesson today is more relevant, you can relate it to your current situation, whether as a member of a student organization, a member of an outside the campus, or when you are in a study group. So our topic today about leadership will apply to such things. Okay, but before I start my topic, I have to say sorry, Ma'am Lona and other friends, because my English is not good as yours. Then due to limited English skills, if there any questions, comments, responses regarding to the topic that I will share today, please type them first at the chat box, and then I will answer it. Okay, so to avoid the misunderstanding. Okay, let we start the topic today. Actually, guys, many figures and theories have defined leadership. Okay, you can read it about leadership in various reference, ranging from the basic concept of leader to the most recent definition of leader today. And before I conclude the definition, what do you think leadership is? What is leadership according to you? Who would like to answer? In your opinion, what is leadership? Okay, perhaps I will point to Justin. Justin, what is leadership? Yes.
For me, sir, I think leadership, the basic the basic definition of leadership is someone who actually is the first to take initiative.
Okay, the person who take the first initiative. Okay, in order to what?
In order to encourage others to do a certain task or to actually get a certain task done.
Okay, so the one who start to encourage the team to make it the task done, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Justin, for the answer. Okay, perhaps we go to Sabino. Sabino. Class B, actually, yeah. B_Sabino. What do you think? What is leadership?
Hello, sir. I think leadership is the way you motivate your teamwork, or your teammates, or the other people in your workplace.
Okay, that's a good point. Leader is a person who motivate your teams. Okay, that's a nice answer. Okay, so from all definitions, from all theory that I have conduct before, that I have reviewed before, I draw one conclusion, guys. Leadership is a person's ability to be able to influence. A person who can inspire and strive for the maximum and best to achieve a goal with the team. So when we can influence others, we can inspire, we can strive for the maximum to achieve our goals with our team, you can call the leader. You are the leader. Okay, so I will show you one video. What is a leader? Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Is the video already appear? Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is overglorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
Okay. So as you can see, it's not a really scientific leadership concept, but from the video we can learn that if we want to become a leader, we have to inspire others, and the others will follow us with our action, with our words, and so on and so on. Okay. Okay. Since the beginning of human civilizations, there must be a figure who is considered a leader, right? Whether it's on the smallest scale, namely the head of the family, village head, king, to the president, CEO, and so on. Even in a children's playground, there must be a one person who stand out and is considered be a leader to the group. Okay, there's so many references that discuss leadership, including what skills a leader must have. One of the journal that I take, there's as you can see, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? 5 basic skills of leaders, and there are also many skills, sub skills to define what is a leader must have. So the question is the ideal of leadership. What is the ideal of leadership? Okay. Before we take on the topic, I will say that leadership doesn't know level, status, profession. I believe that leadership is not about persons' positions in an organizational structure, nor is about a title, and is not same as a manager. Leadership is encouraging, motivating, and seeing that everyone in a team or organizational has a great potential. We can say that a leader has a head to exploit the team's potential to achieve goals. So the quality and behavior of a leader can be owned by anyone regardless of class in society, status, profession. Guys, a housewife can be a leader in her home or neighborhood. A bus conductor can be a leader among his professional work. A student can also be a leader in your class or school. So the character of leadership is not limited by a certain level or status. This doesn't mean that people who have high social status in society make them a good leaders. It is possible that someone from among those who are considered the lowest in the social class of society in the future can become a leader. According to you, who is the examples of leaders who are branded a good leaders? Can you give us an example, a leader who are branded a good leaders? What do you think? A good leader. Who is the good leaders for you? Who is a good leaders according to you? You can say name.
Sir, for me, I think generally I consider fathers as good leaders. We don't mention it, outright that they are good leaders, but naturally when we think of fathers, they are good leaders in a way.
Okay, father is a good leader in your way, in your perception. Okay, thank you very much. Another, please. Who are considered or for you are branded as a good leaders? What is a good leaders according to you? Okay, subjectively according to you. Teachers are good leader for me. Okay, thank you. Patrocinio. Yeah. Okay. Perhaps you can elaborate your answer. Why teachers are good leaders for you, please. Okay, perhaps there's okay. I can use my mic for now, sir. I will just type in. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, while we waiting for Patrocinio to elaborate his answer, anyone who are branded as good leaders for you? Oh, okay. So actually, when we talk about a good leader, it's a subjectively, right? Okay, but in the word, several names are often referred to as a good leaders. For example, Nelson Mandela, Dalai Lama, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mother Teresa, Barack Obama. If we can trace their background, most of these names do not have a background that makes them special, right? Since childhood and are certain to become a leaders, most of them do not come from excessive economic conditions, even quite the opposite. This proves the theory that a leader can come from anywhere, okay? You can be a leader if though you are come from common people. For example, in our country, our president, Pak Jokowi, become a leader, although he come from common people. At 2019, there a survey in the world that choose who is the most popular leader in the world. And Pak Jokowi get 71% on that survey. And you can see the picture below. This is the time when Pak Jokowi has the meeting with the people of Indonesia. You can see, but this is so simple. He is a common people. The people I mentioned before, they are also common people. But how can a leader be so admired and so many followers? What makes them so inspire many peoples? What characteristic make the good leaders? Okay. Okay, Patrokino has already answered. Teachers are good leaders for they inspire us to the best version of ourselves. They are the ones who help us walk in our paths, okay, in certain way. They teach us lesson, not only in our course, but also life lesson that are beyond books. Okay, you can see that Patrocinio mentioned that teachers inspire you. So because of teacher can inspire you, from Patrocinio, teachers are good leaders. Okay. Back to my questions. What characteristic make them good leaders? Okay. These are quite difficult questions to answer, guys, because each individual has their own unique and interesting characteristic. In leadership, we know as people, someone who is assertive, who is frontal, who can talk frontally in front of us is considered to have important characteristic to lead. Okay, a dominant people in our, for example, in our assignment group, we can appoint him or her as our leader. But if we say that assertive people is a leader, there was a leader like Mahatma Gandhi who was so gentle and asked his people not to use violence. This is precisely what made Gandhi also so beloved. It also made Gandhi is a leader for their people, for his people. On the other hand, perhaps you can Googling it later. There is a freedom fighter who is both from India also, named Subhas Chandra Bose. Perhaps you can Googling it later, Subhas Chandra Bose, who is firm and dynamic. Opposite with the Mahatma Gandhi was so gentle. He is also considered a successful leader. So what makes a person a good leader? Now, previously we were discussed that the characteristic of a good leader can be owned by anyone regardless of status, right? So the character is in a person or innate character. A person is destined to have a leadership spirit or not at all. But when we search in IO theory or in a management theory, management expert or psychologist in IO argues that leadership qualities can be learned through proper training. Okay, you can improve your leadership skill in with leadership training. Um, it can help. It can help, but it could be that the result obtained from leadership training are not as natural as leaders who have had this characteristic from the starts, from the beginning of their life. But if you have to be in situation that force you to become a leader, this leadership training needs to be done. For example, when you getting a promotion at your work, okay, when someday you already working and you get a promotion, even though you don't have the character of leader, you cannot help but have to live that position as best as you can. All right. Now, this is where the importance of leadership trainings come in. Okay. So for the next slide, I will discuss about the most popular leadership theories that we should learn on IO. However, we will not discuss in depth because we just talk about the general theory. Okay, first theory is theory of characteristic of a leader. This theory discuss the characteristic of a good leader, a successful leader. Okay, some of these characteristics, for example, the characteristic of leader: mature, have good integrity, have a desire to lead, have a high level of self-confidence, smart, have great initiative that you mentioned before, have a good character. So by this theory, if you have this characteristic, usually someone will consider as a good leader. Okay, this theory of characteristic of a leader. When you have a common leader characteristic, you will consider as a good leader. That's the first theory. The second theory is called behavioral theory of a leader. This theory emphasizes that the behavior of a person that makes him consider a good leader. Okay, so you have to show your behavior. So you have to show your act to your team if you consider a good leader. Good behavior can be caused by a good natural characteristic. If you have an integrity, you can show your integrity in your behavior. So when you can show your behavior, so you can consider as a good leader. That's the second theory of leadership. The third theory of leadership called a leaders management theory. This theory is very popular, especially on our course in IO. This theory created by, have you heard about Blake and Moulton? It called Blake theory and Moulton managerial grid. It's very popular at IO. Perhaps you can, if you're interested in training and development course, Blake and Moulton is one of the figures that be a professor in this area. It's very popular, but it's very old theory. It's very old theory. This theory is around 1964. 1964. So in this theory, they divide leadership into two dimensions. Okay, they divide the leadership into dimensions. First, there is a dimension concern for task. So leader have to concern about the task. And the second, if you become a leader, you have caring for people. Okay, that's the two dimension. So from this two dimension, Blake and Moulton divide the two dimension into 5 leadership styles. Okay, from this two dimension, they divide into 5 leadership styles. First, improvised management. Second, middle of the road management. Third, authority compliant management. Fourth, country club management. And fifth, team management. Perhaps if we have more time or next session, we can discuss deeply about this theory. That's the third theory. Okay, for the fourth, they called situational theory around leader. So this theory emphasizes several situation factors that surround the leaders. Okay, so the successful of the leader can be influenced by the situational factors around the leader. Examples: the subordinates, the supervisor, the task. So all these factors can determine whether someone can be a good leader or vice versa. Okay, your situational around you can influence you. You are become a good leader or not. Okay, and the last, goal achievement theory for leaders. This theory focusing on achieving goals as the main goal of leadership, guys. So the good leader is someone that can make a goal clear, and when you can achieve your goals with or without your team, you can consider as a good leader. When I read this theory, I'm also not agree with this theory, because this theory explained that you have when you consider as a good leader, if you achieve your goal with or without your team. Okay, and the other hand, I believe that a good leader, a man who should manage their team well. Okay, but I don't think I don't know if you agree with my statement, but for me, I don't agree with this theory. For me, a good leader, people who can inspire the others, who can manage the team, not only just for achieve the goals. Okay. Now, a good leader certainly doesn't only think about himself to be able to climb to the top, but must think about all his members. That's the five theory of leadership, the common theory that we can learn from IO course, guys. So the five theories that are already mentioned before are some examples of theory that are still used today for several organizations in shaping leadership programs. In Indonesia also, we still use these five theories in order to make leadership programs in an organization and also in a corporate. So these theories are summarized and created by experts in the field of management, but is make perfection from psychologists also. But the five theories focus on the figure of the leader and his leadership styles. Okay, from here, do you have any question first before I continue my topic? Go ahead, please. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask before I continue my lecture. None. Okay. Okay. So we can continue now. Actually, when we talk about leadership, leadership is a complex, right, and multifaceted. And there is an issue about what we have to be, leadership or managers. Okay. In your opinion, are you a manager or are you a leader? Or another question, which is more better, a manager or a leader? What do you think? Please type on the chat box. Do you think which is good, manager or a leader? Manager or leader? Which one the best do you think? You become a manager or you become a leader? Before I compare these two words, perhaps you can, you can type your answer, or you can open your mic to answer. It's okay. I will try to understand the answer. Leader. Okay, good. Leader, sir. Okay, leader. Okay, so now I will give the table comparison between leaders and managers. Here is the table comparison between leaders and managers. So leaders, a person who innovates, but managers is a person who administer. Okay, leaders have to develop their team. In other hand, manager have to maintain the team. Leaders must inspire, but manager have to control the team. Leaders long-term view, but managers short-term view. Leaders as what and why. So if we talk about leaders, leaders is about strategically, but managers as how and when. So is focused on technical. Leaders challenge the status quo. Because of leader has to be innovative. They have to be adaptive. They have to be agile. So leaders don't want to stay in the comfort zone. They challenge the status quo. While manager accept the status quo. They enjoy the comfort zone. And leaders do the right things. Manager do things right. Now, from the table, from the comparison table, I will ask you again, which is better, manager or a leader when you have some assignment or task or title as a leader? Which is better, a manager or a leader? Do you still answer leader or you change? Still leaders. Okay, still leaders. Okay, guys, I will. What do you think, ma'am Lona? According to you,
I think I'm a leader, sir.
I think the leaders. Okay, nice one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. So, in my opinion, when we see the leaders and the manager, guys, we must be a manager who can operate the task well and a leader at the same time. But we cannot be a boss. We have to be a manager while we have to be a leader, but we don't have to be a boss. What is a boss? This is the boss, guys. Boss is demanding, right? Boss is commands you, release in authority. And the important things, boss generates fear, while leader generates enthusiasm. Boss always says I, use people, takes credits, blames others. So if you have made a mistake, this is your fault. You are not competent. You doing my company go to ground. Get out from here. That's the boss characteristic, right? The boss is just only knows how it's done and say goes. So be a leader, guys, not a boss. Look, sir, why you say that we have to be a boss, we have to be a leader, at the same time we have to be a managers? Perhaps this illustration can help you guys. You have to be a leaders and the managers in the same time. As we can see in the picture, we can see that, okay, wait a minute. This is the person, sorry, no, yeah, I will use this. This is the person who lead the one of company. Let's say the mountain over here is our company of our organizations. So the boss will lead the people, the members of organization, to climb the mountain to try to reach the top. Okay, so when become a leader and we become a teamwork, become a manager, as a leader, we will help them, we will help the members, we will have our team to climb the mountain. Okay, when they climb the mountain, to climb a mountain, they have to get a technical skill. Okay, if we climb the mountain, we have a skill to climb. So leader have to lead have to train, have to teach the members to do the climb. Nah, when leader teach the member, make sure the member can climb the mountain, it's called a managers. Okay, the technical things it calls managers. When they he inspired the members, he become a leaders. But if we be a boss, when you reach to the top of the mountain, the boss don't care about the members. Oh, you go away. I just reached the top of the mountain. I don't need you anymore. You go away. Sir, I reached the top nearly. Please help me. No, you have to do in your way. That's the boss characteristic, guys. So from this illustration, I can in my opinion, you have to be a leaders and managers in the same times, but don't be a boss. Okay, I hope you can get the message. Okay, so in the mainstream discourse around leadership, the focus is often on different leadership personal styles, ranging from autocratic to charismatic. However, these styles not broader view on leadership nor make provision, for leading through uncertainty, building a sustainable leadership environment, and creating a repeatable or replicable system. So researchers do research in many times, then they agree that we need a more holistic approach, and where is positive leaderships come in. Okay, before I talk about positive leadership, have you ever heard about positive psychology before? Already, yeah? Already. What is positive leadership? What do you think? What is positive leadership? Okay, Justin, would you like to share your opinion? What is positive leadership?
For me, sir, I think positive leadership is like providing a form of motivation or incentive to encourage others to improve and to do their work.
Okay, so motivated also, yeah, motivated the team, yeah, to encourage the team, right?
Something like that.
Okay, something like that. Okay, thank you very much for your answer. Okay, excuse me. In your name, Zoom name, the first letter is your class, right? For example, at the chat box, D underscore, the D is the class, right?
Sir, that's the block section.
The block section.
Yeah, there
Okay.
there are 5 sections. So F means they belong to section F, A to section A. There.
Okay, I see.
Yes,
And
sir.
then the words after the underscore is name. Yeah, the name of the students.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I see. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Lona. Okay, thank you, Mariano Cyril. Leadership that motivates and encourage. Okay, so perhaps I will discuss a little bit about positive psychology at our Faculty of Psychology at Surabaya, especially at Widya Mandala. We have our scientific vision is positive psychology. So we digging and dive in deeply about positive psychology. And one of the topic that we learn about positive psychology is positive leadership. Okay. Okay. Now, so when we talk about positive psychology has the goal. One of the goal of positive psychology of we as a human have a good life, pleasant life, and meaningful, which is known as flourishing. Okay, so in positive psychology, in dealing with some condition, in dealing with a bad condition, it is not just stopping at solving problems, not only fixing bad things, but also focusing on building, building the best quality in life. Okay, so we not only focus on the fixing bad things, but we focus also on building the best quality in life. Then the intervention of or program in positive psychology, toward these goals, the flourishing. Okay, now positive psychology can be applied to several major of psychology: educational, social, clinical, person development, and also in IO settings, guys. Now, in IO settings, we known as positive organization. Okay, one of the topic that we learn in positive psychology at IO setting, we call positive organizations. And there are so many variables of positive psychology that we can discuss later. You name it: POS, positive organizational scholarship, POB, engagement, flow, and the one topic that we will discuss today is positive leadership. Okay, so today we just focus on one variable called positive leadership. Okay, perhaps this is the this topic is already about the topic, but perhaps maybe you just heard, you just known the positive leadership for now. So I will share from the beginning. Okay, so one of the figure who spread the good news about positive organization is Kim Sterling Cameron. Okay, Cameron is recognized as the foremost expert. So he is one expert on positive relational energy. Over the years, his research on organizational virtuousness, and he has been published in more than 140 academic articles and 15 scholarly books. And now Mr. Cameron serves as the professor at University Michigan. One of the theory that Cameron taught called the continuum. So this is the theory. Before we talk about positive leadership, we have to see the background of the positive leadership. The theory about the continuum, usually called defiance continuum. Now, in English language, the word of defiance has a negative connotation. Okay, the defiance has a negative continuum. But according to Cameron, on this defiance, you can think the negative defiance or positive defiance. Okay, this is the continuum. The right hand is a negative defiance, in the middle is a normal defiance, okay, and the left hand a positive defiance. Okay, so the negative defiance, Cameron called the left hand side as a deficit gaps. Okay, Cameron called the left hand is a deficit gaps, and the right hand he called the abundance gap. Okay, there's a continuum. For Cameron, there is a negative defiance and also positive defiance. In negative defiance, it's called deficit gaps, and the positive defiance called abundance gaps. What is implied? What is the implementation of the gap? For example, if we talk about physiological, okay, if we talk about physical health, on the left hand side, the continuum of the negative defiance, we might call the negative defiance as an illness. Okay, the negative defiance we call illness in the physiological defiance. Illness, for example, diabetes, heart disease, the flu. But in the normal, in the middle of the continuum, continuum would be an absence of illness, or in other word, basic, we call health. Okay, but on the right hand side, the abundance gap, the positive defiance, the physical health, the physiological aspect might be called vitality. What is vitality? Vitality is just like an Olympic fitness levels. The ability to participate in an Ironman competition. You have vitality in yourself, in your physically. Okay, that's the example of the implementation of the continuum. What else? Physiological, already we discussed. The second is psychological. On the left-hand side, the negative defiance, same, illness, but would be, for example, stress, burnout, problems. That's the negative defiance, the deficit gap. And you know, guys, at the psychological, at the medical research, 90% of the research focus on the difference between the left-hand side and the middle. So until 8 or 9 years past, 8 or 9 years before, the psychological and medical research just focus 90% on the left-hand side and the middle. How do you get people to be absent of illness? Okay, but Cameron appear, and the Seligman appear with the positive psychology. The Cameron talk about a continuum. They start to focus on how we can get a normal to positive defiance. Now, in psychological, we call it flow. Okay, have you heard about flow? Have you ever heard about flow before? Study about flow? Already? Not yet? Flow. Okay, already talk about flow. So in psychological terms, that might be a state of flow. Flow is when we using more of our brain capacity than a normal. When we do something, if we get flow, we lose track of time, okay? And we lose of our physiological needs. We are in extraordinarily highly performing. It's a flow. Now, positive leadership. This is the example of another, guys, for the on organizational and organizational side, right? So in organizational, there are also economics aspect, effectiveness, efficiency, quality, ethics, relationship, and adaptation. It's also being in the continuum, okay? Then when we talk about positive leadership, the positive leadership focus on the right-hand side, right-hand gap, the abundance gap, okay? The positive leadership focus on the abundance gap. Okay, continue. When we talk about positive leadership, I will quote to the Kim Cameron's book. It's very good book. You have to read this because it's very applicative. It's very useful. Positive leadership. You can search on ebooks. It's very good. strategies, extraordinary performance, positive leadership. So actually, positive leadership is a leadership approach that applies the principle of positive organizational scholarship, POS. And POS is a branch of organizational behavior science based on positive psychology. In simply words, I can say that POS, positive organizational scholarship, is how we manage organizations, one of our organization according to positive psychology principles. Okay. Now, in his book, Cameron said that positive leadership is the implementation of multiple positive practices that help individuals and organizations achieve their highest potential, flourish at work, experience elevating energy, and achieve levels of effectiveness. So when we talk about positive leadership, we not just only talk about we accomplish our mission. We not just talk about how we can do our works routinely, how we can do our job completely. Not only that, but in positive leadership is how the leader can help you as a member of organization can achieve your highest potential. You can flourish at work. Okay, you can feel flow. You can feel vital in your physiological, more than just doing accomplish your task. That's the good of positive leadership, guys. Now, positive according to Cameron, in line with POS, so positive leadership also refers to three orientation. The first, positive leadership focusing on positive defiance. Okay, we just talked before. And the second, positive leadership focus on our strengths. Focus on our strengths orientation, not our weakness. They focus on optimism, not in pessimism. The positive leadership, supportive rather than critical. Okay, and the third, positive leadership focus on human virtues. This is the interesting one. Cameron believes that we as a human are inherently good creatures. Simply put, that I can say that we all as a human actually good people from our first breath. So that's called human virtues. Okay, this is the three orientation of positive leadership, the three essential of positive leadership. Positive leadership is a modeling of facilitating and purposely influencing positive emotion that encourage team members and employees to excel to our work. Now, this is one of the critical about positive leadership and about positive psychology. I don't know if you think also just like that, but when we read the book, we read the journal, there is a critical from positive psychology and also a positive leadership. This the critic. Is positive leadership just focus on the positive things? What do you think? Because before that, we talk about all about the positive things, right? Is positive leadership just focus on the positive things? What do you think? Is positive leadership just only focus on the positive things? What do you think? Please. No, sir. I think constructive criticism is also entailed. Okay, nice. For me, no. Okay, I don't think so. No, sir. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Nah, the answer is No. So this is the arguments, guys. First, of course, for positive leaders to focus on positive defiance doesn't mean they ignore non-positive condition or situation where mistakes, crises, or problem are present. Okay? Most of the time, people and organizations fall short of achieving the best they can be or fail to fulfill their optimal potential. Okay? Many positive outcomes are stimulated by trials and difficulties. For example, if you feel or if you demonstrate courage, resilience, forgiveness, compassion, it comes from not from positive things. Courage, resilience, forgiveness, compassion is only relevant when a negative event appears, right? We can forgive people when we have another people who make mistake for us. It's a negative event. We can be a resilience when we face complicated problems. It's a complicated problem is a negative event, right? And you know that some of the research I quotes from the Baumeister and friends at 2001, they said that bad is stronger than good. Okay, and even Cameron said that common human experience as well as abundant scientific evidence supports that the idea negativity has a place in human flourishing. Okay, negativity also take a place in human flourishing. For example, for us, I ask you, which is the interesting one? A negative news or a positive news? Which one we prefer to read? A negative news or positive news? Which one we interest to see or to sell? A negative news or positive news? Actually, negative news sells more than positive news, right? People are affected more by negative feedback than a positive feedback. Traumatic events have a greater impact on ourselves than a positive events, right? So by this research say that human beings they react more strongly to negative phenomena than to positive phenomena. We learn early in our life to be vigilant in responding to the negative and to ignore a natural heliotropic tendency. What is heliotropic tendency? I will explain later. Okay, that's a point, one of the point about positive leadership, and it's very good to apply in our life. When we apply the heliotropic tendency, we can feel ourselves happier. We can feel ourselves more comfortable in our life. Later, I will explain to you. So achieving positive defiance is not depend on completely positive conditions. Okay, so that's the answer. Is positive leadership just focus on the positive things? No, achieving positive defiance, including positive leadership, is not dependent on completely positive condition. A role exists for both positive and negative circumstances in producing positive defiance. So we need a negative circumstances and also we need positive circumstances to have a positive defiance. So Berikut and her colleagues called as all sunshine make a desert. Okay. Now, of course, no single leader can account for this kind of spectacular success, guys. But certain leadership strategies have been found to be enabled to thriving our organizational, what I can say, there's a certain leadership strategy can flourish an organization, and one of the strategy called positive leadership. Okay, now perhaps you have a questions, why I should adopting a positive leadership in our leadership style. Why a positive leadership style be beneficial? Okay, I also quote from the books of Cameron. There is several reasons why we should adopting this leadership style in our daily life, in our daily work, right? Okay, first, perfect leading in times of uncertainty and volatility. As you know, now we are in the pandemic of COVID, right? Hopefully that someday we will get into the endemic, so we can meet not online but offline. Okay, hopefully someday. A positive leadership style is the most sustainable and excellency-driven framework for leading in periods of uncertainty, volatility, and ambiguity. We know as FUCA word, FUCA. Have you heard about FUCA word now? FUCA, volatility, uncertainty, I forget the C, and A, ambiguity. Okay, now we are in the not only in the era of Industry 4.0, not only for that, but in IO we have to know that we are in FUCA world, the uncertainty, the volatility. Okay, now over the last year, when the pandemics attack us, when the Industry 4.0 influence us, many industry and markets have been rocked by unprecedented volatility from which they are yet not covered. Okay, we are not recovered yet in some business and in some industry. Now, a positive leader from Cameron can lead their team through a long-term period of ambiguity where a continuous balancing act is needed, not only to survive. We not only to survive this condition, but we have to thrive this condition. That's the positive leadership. So positive leadership helps to prepare the way, helps to prepare our way for handling adverse scenarios and trying times. Why is so become like that? Because when we implement positive leadership styles, we encourage building strengths to our employees. We building the strengths. We encourage them, our team's member, to being what you call resilient, what we call optimistic in difficult time. We recognizing each person contribution. So by the research of Cameron and other scholars, positive leadership prove to be the best framework for leading through uncertainty and volatility. That's the first reason why we should adopting a positive leadership style. The second one, building a team that is emotionally invest in the work they do. So positive leadership evokes a sense of ownership in employees. Okay, in positive leadership, we not only encourage to demonstrate and to support them, but we evoke a sense of ownership in employees, which drive them to go the extra miles to achieve set goals. You can read one of the variables also in IO called organizational OCB. Yeah, OCB variable. Okay. The third, sorry, wait a minute. Okay, the third is essential for a work navigating inclusiveness and diversity. You know, when we talk about leadership, not all leader can be what do you say, objectively to maintain their teams. Somehow that can be subjectively to manage their team. So while we adopting a positive leadership could be building a diverse and inclusive business. Means the positive leadership could understanding, could leveraging emotional intelligence, psychological predispositions, multiculturalism, philosophies, and self-awareness. Now, all this is possible if we use a power of positive leadership. Okay, now another question appeared that, okay, I see that if positive leadership is beneficial for organization and its member, there is any research that show the correlation with improving organizational performance. So I will show you the result of the research by Cameron. He connect a positive leadership and organizational performance. Okay, how does positive leadership make a difference in organization? But before I answer the questions, I want to introduce you with the one of the effect we call this one. Who here like flowers? Who like flowers here? Can raise your hands. Oh, you like flowers. Nice. Okay. Have you ever planted a flower before? You plant a seed of a flower and you watch the improving of your plant already. I see. Yes, yeah. Okay. When you observe the development of our plant, when our plant already developed, they will lean to the light, right? They will lean to the light. Okay, I will show you some videos. It's nice video for me. You can see here. Wait a minute. Okay, sorry, not this one. Okay, this one. You can see the plant lean to the light. Okay, they follow the light. Okay, this is the dark side and this is the, yeah, you can see here. Okay, the plant lean to the light. They follow the light. All right, while the black side over here, the plant is not follow the dark side, but they follow the light. Okay, it's very nice one. Yeah, right? They follow the light. Okay, that's a video. It's called the Heliotropics Effects. Okay, the Heliotropic Effects. That's very interesting. That's very, very interesting about focusing on the right-hand side of the continuum is when you focus on abundance gap. Okay, as a psychologist, as a IO practitioner, we have to focusing. That's interesting if we focusing on the right-hand side, the continuum called abundance gaps. So what is heliotropics effects? As the video you can see, you have seen before, it can be illustrated that if you put the plant, it will lean toward the light. Okay, so every living system, every life from a single cells organism to complex human system as we are has tendency toward the light and away from dark, toward of positive energy, away from negative energy. Yeah. For example, the plant. A plant lean toward the light, the sun, because in the nature, the sun is the source of positive energy, right? The sun help the plant to photosynthesis. Okay. So in heliotropic effect, is every living systems has tendency toward that which is life giving away from that which is living depleting. It makes sense for me. It makes sense for me because if we think evolutionary process, we talk about evolution, everything alive is attracted to that which gives life, repelled by that which endanger or detracts from life, right? Now, it's same with positive leadership. Same with a positive leadership, guys. In positive leadership, that's leading so that you help people flourish. That's the fact all about positive leadership, teman-teman. We unleashing the heliotropic effect. In the positive leadership, we give, we actually life-giving. For example, you can see in the picture, the yellow one, the yellow one is a leader. So the member by the heliotropic effect will follow the bright one. They follow the leaders. They follow people who can give a positive energy from them. That's the essential of positive leadership. And it was so beautiful. Very beautiful. If we be a leader and we can spread does this actually work in organization? Does positive leadership is a real and has connecting to organizational performance? Here's the result. The finding of Cameron research over 15 years, he said that if you implement in organization positive practice, for example, virtuous practice, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, gratitude, and so on, you will get higher level of profitability. You make more money by far than the industry average. Productivity is significantly improved. Quality goes up. Fewer creativities, yeah, all improve, guys. Customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, customer retention goes up. Employee satisfaction, employee retention, yeah, all go up. So the summary of Cameron research find that all of those organizational performance significantly improve when you implement positive practice, including positive leadership. Okay. So, okay, sir, I know that how I can implement the positive leadership practically. Cameron said there are 4 main strategies how you can implement the positive leadership. This is the 2 slides before I conclude my presentation. Hopefully you still in here and you still has focus, okay? We remain 2 slides. Okay, so there is a 4 main strategy in carrying out positive leadership by Cameron. Cameron said, Cameron proposed, if we implement this 4 strategy, we could be a positive leadership. But I'm sorry, because of the limitation of time, we not talk deeply about these 4. Okay, so I just explain in general way. So if we want to be a positive leadership, we want to implement the positive leadership, we have to build a positive work climate. We can enjoy to work with our college. We can enjoy to work with our organization members if our climate of work become a positive. We feel comfort, we feel enjoy, we feel positive in our work climate. There's so many empirical evidence suggests that working in a positive climate has substantial positive effect on our performance. So among a leadership, the positive leader have to make a work climate in condition of compassion. You have to share compassion with another members. You have to forgive easily. Okay, you have to forgive easily if someone make a mistakes. Okay, when your member is not your duty, you not make his or her assignment, you can be angry to them. You can give a sanction to them. You can give a punishment to them, but you have to forgive. Okay, you have to forgive. An expression of gratitude. When our member do something great, we express our gratitude. Oh, congratulations for your achievement. Oh, congratulations for your performance. Don't be jealous. Somehow, if our team members of organization get an achievement, we feel, that's not proper if you get the achievement. The achievement must be mine. Now, that's not a positive work climate situation. If you feel jealous with the achievement of your friends, of your team members, challenge yourself to improve your performance, but you have to express your gratitude to your friends. That's the how positive leadership create a positive work climates. Okay, the second one, a positive relations among members. In positive relationship, we known as a HQC. Okay, how to build high quality connection. You pay attention to the talk of others. For example, when you are in a meeting, okay, when you are in a meeting and when your friends giving an arguments, giving an opinion, you have to listen to them. You're not only hearing, you have to focus on the answer, and you have to listening to them and response, give a good response, give a good feedback. That makes us feels like, oh, I understand, I being understand by you. You are paying attention for me. Okay, same with the example from positive work climates. We also should be express our positive emotions. Okay, we express our gratitude for the achievement of the relationship. When our members, team members, being in a bad situation, we show the empathy, we show our sympathy, not only by words, but also by our act. Okay, that can create a high quality connection. And the third is build positive meanings. So on positive meaning, which should start a leader, you have to constructive. Okay, so when we think about positive leadership, guys, the fourth, the fourth positive meaning. I will continue to the positive communication for the last. For the third, I will explain first for the positive meaning. Okay, the fourth strategies to build our positive leadership is how we can create a build positive meanings. So when we think or when we want to be able to be a positive leadership, we have changed our mind, we have changed our perceptions. It's not about I'm become a famous, okay? It's not about I'm become a good leader, honored by our teams. No, not like that. But if we think about positive leadership, we want to make sure we give a things. Okay? A positive leader always give. Okay? Almost in all organization, when you do especially well, give you stuff, you are giving them financial incentive. When you giving them financial incentive, you get your picture on the wall, right? You will be glorified by your team members. Somebody give you some recognition, but you are receiver. Now, turns out, if you want to implement positive leadership, if you have a opportunity to give or to contribute to somebody else, that's much better incentive. So in summary, if you be a positive leadership, you don't have to be a receiver. You have to be a giver, not a receiver. You have to give to your subordinates. You have to give to your lower level or your friends. That's a positive leadership. Okay, and the last is about build positive communication. Positive communication, it's not only we say our word, we say frontally, we say sarcastic, we argument. No, positive communication is how we can make integrative communication. We show respectfulness, okay? We show honesty, we show respect, we show supportiveness and motivated others. It's how we have to communicate. It's how to positive communication implement in positive leadership. And the second, after we integrative communication, we should have a constructive communication. What is constructive communication? When a problems appear, we comes with the solution. When a problems appear, we comes with the problem solving. As a leader, we have to think future orientation. We have to collaborative. Okay, we have to say relevant information, reliable information according to the context of the conversation. In order to implement positive communication, we not only criticism, okay? We not only criticism to others, but also we give an input for them. Okay? We not only say, your word is not good. Oh, you have done a mistakes. Not only like that, but we have to show, okay, your word is not good. Then if you want to be to make your work good, then you have blah blah. You get a solution for them, not only a criticism. That's a positive communication. That's the fourth strategy, how we carrying out a positive leadership in our life. Okay, this is my last slide, guys. I'm not clear about positive leadership, sir. It's so positive for me. It's so very hard for me. But when I learn about leadership, sir, I would like to be a good leader, sir. Any suggestion? Any suggestion for you? Okay, guys. Before I make this topic, I just review many journals, and from that many journals, from several theories that discussed before about how to be a good leaders, and based on your observation, there is at least the standards qualities of leaders. There is a 7 quality of good leaders. Hopefully, by these 7 qualities of leaders, you can implement in your daily life. What is the 7 quality of good leaders? First, vision. Okay, when you become a good leader, you have a visions and goals for the future. You have a clear and interesting ideas about the future. Where our organization headed? What are they going to get there? Vision and mission. Not only that, you have a good plan to achieve the vision. Okay, it different with managers. It different with the boss, because managers usually managers only carry out the work according to what has been arranged by the leader. Okay, just do the routine activity. It's not a leader, it's a manager, just only a manager. A leader can make a good plan and assign their subordinates systematically with the vision. So if you want to be a good leader, you have
One. Yes.
okay.
I do.
Okay, second, integrity. As we know that integrity is very important to be a successful leader. Okay, the basis of integrity is sincerity, honesty. Having integrity means that the one must always tell the truth to everyone in any situation. You ever heard about walk the talk, right? You have to implement the walk the talk. Okay, if you have a sense of trust in your business, you can be assured that the road ahead will be easier, will be smoother. Okay, the third, humility. Good leaders are those who are strong and firm, but at the same time, be humble. Having a humble nature doesn't mean they are weak. You become a humble person doesn't mean you are a weak person. Humility actually shows that a person has sufficient self-confidence. We show self-confidence and we aware our abilities. We allow us to appreciate our abilities without feeling that our position being threatened. But this is one of the quality of good leader is very difficult and very rarely found, because what do you say, to get humility person, you must be able to make peace with your own ego, right? And it's very difficult to deal with our ego. Okay, this means that when we become a leader, we must be able to admit that you are not only always right. You are not only always right. You do not have all the solution to every problems. We not have the all solution to every problems. Humble leader in general will also appreciate the work of others, not jealousy. Okay. Again, this is often difficult for a leaders to do, whether because of pride, prestige, of other reasons. If we have this characteristic, we undoubtedly you are a good leader. Okay, the fourth, courage. Another very important thing a leader you have must a courage. This means that a good leader must dare to take risks in order to achieve your goals without certainty of success or failure of your business. You know, when we're running a business, when I'm running a business in uncertainty. Okay, nothing is certain. So every commitment, every action made by a leader requires courage. Okay, and the fifth strategic plan. A good leader is generally very prominent in his ability to make strategic plan. We not only have a vision, but we have to we have to break down the vision into a strategic plan. A good leaders have a good ability to predict trend faster than competitors. Okay? You have to be agile. You have to be a strategic things. You must think strategically. And six, good leaders focus on their personal strengths, on their organizational strengths, the company strengths. They can therefore determine the best way to satisfy customer and client desire in what you say extremely competitive marketplace and work of work. And also, this is the I'm thinking that focus is also one of the hardest things, because we have to focus in ourselves, but also we must be able to focus to how we manage our team. Okay, this is the challenge for us to be focused as a good leaders. And the last, a good leader is able to make everyone, every level, every background work together to achieve the goals. Okay? Okay, guys. I think I'm going to stop here because I'm just talked for 90 minutes. Okay? So, questions, comments, yeah, but anything on your mind, please.
Wow, thank you so much, Sir Andika. I am sure our students learned a lot from your lecture. All right, dear students, you can now ask your questions, clarifications, or anything that you'd like to tell Sir Andika. All right, so we have a question here on the chat box, sir. Good morning, sir. I wonder if there are any negative criticisms or lapses in positive leadership. Thank you so much, Bridget.
Okay, so I directly answer the question, right? Okay, so we're at my slide before this one, I just say that, nah, this one, a positive leadership focus on positive things. Yes, there are any negative criticism from many. When we talk about theory, it's also a pro and cons, right? And the cons said that, okay, when we implement the positive leadership, we have to implement all about positive. No, it's not. Not all positive leadership talk about positive things. There's also a negative things. Yes, there is a negative criticism or lapse in positive leadership, and one of the criticism is positive leadership. It cannot be done if we only just focus on positive things. We not only just give, because the concept of positive leadership, we as a leader, we must give all, develop the our team members, but at the practices, we on the progress, we not only just focus on develop, we also always focus on the repairing, the fixing of the mistake that our subordinates make. So that's one a criticism of positive leadership. But positive leadership scholars has already countered the negative criticism by saying that this one, yeah, positive leadership is a positive things, but not ignoring the negative events. Okay, that the answer. I hope that my English is not disturb you.
Bridget, was that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was clear, sir. It was very, very clear. Thank you. Other questions, please, or clarifications? Pwede kayo magtanong, huwag mahiya. Thank you, Bridget. There, understood. Thank you, sir. Questions or clarifications about positive leadership? So nice of Sir Andika to, share with us, the importance of positive leadership, especially in applying these concepts in organizational psychology. So this is indeed very, very important later on when you'll be able to reach a certain position in a company. Okay, bear in mind what Sir Andika taught us for this morning, okay, about implementing positive leadership. All right, any questions, clarifications? I think your lecture is very, very clear, Sir Andika.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Lona.
Very good, especially the one where you differentiated the boss and the leader.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. So aside
Really.
from emphasizing, the difference between a manager and a leader, differentiating also the difference between a boss and a leader.
And a leader.
Yeah, so in the future, let's not be a boss.
Yeah.
Let's
not
be a
really.
leader, right? Yeah. Okay. So any more questions or clarifications, guys? Don't be shy. Okay na. There. We have 170 students attending right now. 167, including us. Christelle, would you like to ask something? You're unmute. Christelle Abuan. Miss Christelle. Ah, yeah, I think we're all good, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So no more questions. Are you sure? All right. So can we give a heart react for Sir Andika for a very wonderful lecture this morning? There you go. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We learned a lot from you. All right, so there. Okay po. So may I request everyone siguro to open their cam so we can take a picture with Sir Andika and Ma'am. I think I saw her name, Ma'am Desak. The lecture was clear. Yeah, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
There. It was truly insightful. There you go. You can read the messages, sir.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
There.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, yan, dami. Okay, thank you so much, sir, again. Okay, so let's open our camera so we can take a picture. Yesterday, I was the one who also gave a lecture on performance management sa students naman nila no, kahapon. So exchange kami ni Sir Andika ngayon. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully that we can visit you and eat balut.
Yes. And we can also all go there. No, those who are attending right now, if we could go there in Indonesia right now. Okay. All right, so let's take a picture in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smile. Okay, for a while. Save ko lang po. Okay. 6. Okay, one more. There are 4 panels. Okay, second panel. There you go. Do not turn off your camera muna. Okay. Wait lang. Hold lang. Hold on to that smile. Okay. Third panel. Okay, second to the last. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Okay. Wait lang. Okay. And last. Okay, smile. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Save it for a while, sir. And there. Any last words, Sir Andika?
Okay, salamat po. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your opportunity. Hopefully that our topic today you can implement in your daily life. Stay healthy and always God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. So, may I ask siguro, Zian, can you lead the prayer? Si Zian na yung nakita ko. Sensya ka na. Sige. Prayer tayo, Zian. Closing prayer? Can you hear me, Zian? Naririnig ka?
Hello.
Ayun.
Hello po. Ayan.
Yan. O, sige, Zian. Ikaw na. Closing prayer tayo.
Let us bow down our heads and pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the weather. We hope that wherever our teachers, our classmates, our family is today, we hope that they are doing well. We thank you for this day's lecture. We thank you for the speaker. And we thank you for the valuable knowledge that we have gained. Hopefully, we will be able to learn more throughout this day and throughout the following days. And hopefully, we will be able to make use of this knowledge in our daily lives. All this we ask in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right. So that's it for this morning. Thank you so much, class, for attending our today's synchronous meeting with Sir Andika and Ma'am Dessa. Ma'am Dessa, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you too, Miss Ilona. So I think we can see again on May 13th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
At 13 p.m.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your lunch. Goodbye.
Good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
sir.
po.
Thank you po. Thank you.